So just got someone else coming in. Up to you if you keep your cameras on. It's always nice for me to be able to see you, but with this kind of session, if you prefer to have your camera off, then you can. That's absolutely fine. Oh, yay. Hi, Annika. Hello. Hi, Sarah. We also got, it's moving through. Oh, Sarah's just coming in. There she is. Sarah. Okie dokie. So I know most of you have done yin yoga before. You might have done it with me or somewhere else. And if you haven't done yin yoga before, don't worry. I'm going to just talk through a little bit before we get ourselves going. So our session today, we will be working through around about 8 to 10 poses. So with this style of yoga, we don't do loads and loads of poses. We focus on holding poses for longer. So it is all floor based, and we usually hold a pose from around about 2 minutes to maybe 5 minutes. But today we're going to sort of stick to 2-3 minutes with our poses. So sometimes when you hear that, you think, well, that's quite a long time to be in one position. But the idea is that we can fully relax into a pose, really get into it. And then you're able to just stop in the pose and notice and sense what's going on in your body. So rather than just targeting the muscles, we also target into the joints and the ligaments. And so we go a little bit deeper into each pose. You don't want to feel any pain in your poses. You might feel some slight discomfort, and there may be times where you feel like you want to get out and move out of the pose, but try to stick with it. Unless you do feel pain, of course, and you do need to readjust your position, then of course move. But if you can, just try to stay in that pose, listen to your breath, use your breathing to help relax you into the pose a little bit more. And then it is usually towards the end of the pose when I tell you to come out, that's when you get really into it and comfortable and you don't want to move. So the idea is that you really get relaxed into each pose. There will be times as well where your mind will wander off. It's very different to our yang practice, our flow classes that most of you do with me. So yin yoga, we're balancing out our energy. So yang is our little bit more of our dynamic classes where we're doing things, getting things done. And then our yin is our slower paced, relaxing class. So when you do find that your mind might be wandering off, just notice where your thoughts go. It's fine. It's normal if your mind wanders. It's all part of the practice as well, just giving you some time to tune into your thoughts a little bit more and see things a little bit clearer. And then listen to your breathing. That will help bring your awareness back into the moment. And I'll also be here talking throughout the session as well, sort of giving you little things to focus on as well in the class. As I was just saying, if you want to play music, you can. I did send out a playlist. It's up to you. If you've got Spotify, then you might put the playlist on at the start when we get going, or you can play your own music, or you can you don't have to. It's up to you. It's quite nice though with this style of yoga to have some music on in the background. Make sure you're going to be warm enough as well. This is a cooling practice, so you might just keep layers on. You can even keep socks on, that's fine. You might have a blanket nearby just to throw over you whenever we come into some of the poses. And yeah, I just wanted to put this class on as I feel like we all need it. I know there's various things going on for some people, and of course what's going on in the world at the moment, it's if you can sort of get caught up in all of that. And I just want you to enjoy this hour that you've got here for yourself. Just enjoy it to relax, to just check in with yourself. We're in March now. For me, the year's already flying by, so we always just need that bit of time just to catch up with ourselves again. And yeah, just enjoy it. This is your time. Try not to get distracted by anything else, and hopefully you are in a quiet space and you are able to relax. I'm just noticing my video sometimes my camera goes a little bit funny. I'm hoping it's going to be okay, but You'll so yeah, you might have a block. If you've got a yoga block, grab it. Have some cushions maybe as blankets. We want to just get really comfortable in the poses, and there's no wrong way to do the poses. I'll give you a few little tips and things to focus on, but at times we will be doing different things, so don't worry about what I'm doing. I'll come into the pose, but then I will come out of it while I'm talking to you. So let's get started then. I just want you to come into a comfortable seated position to begin with. So take your time just to get yourself there. Make sure you are comfortable. You can come with your back against the wall or your sofa if you're near your sofa, so that your back's supported. Okay. And thank you for joining me as well. It's just sort of a little spontaneous thing I decided to put on at the start of the week, because I just feel like we need it. So we're here. Just when you're all settled there, make sure you're sat comfortably. You might just have a little move around, just so that you're all settled. And then close your eyes if you haven't done so already. Just letting your eyelids relax. Giving your eyes a little rest. And we're just going to take these first few moments of our session here to arrive into our practice. And arrive into your body. Feel your sit bones in contact with the floor or the surface beneath you. And just be aware of how you are sat, the shape of your body. And notice how your body is feeling right now. Also using this time to collect your thoughts. So there might be a bit going on for you in your world right now. You might be fairly busy, doing lots of things to be done. Don't worry about any of that right now. This is your time, so enjoy this time that you've got here for yourself. And then just start to feel your breath in your body. And feel your breath moving your body. Starting to breathe a bit deeper, in and out through the nose. And you just want to keep the breath nice and soft. So in yin yoga, there's no set way to breathe. And you're just tuning into your own rhythm of your breath. And allowing your breath to soothe your mind and soothe your body. I'm just going to do a little bit of movement here in the seated position. So if you feel like you need to change your position at any point, do. But let's just slowly roll the shoulders around. So you can keep your eyes closed if you like. So throughout most of the practice, we will have the eyes closed. And of course, there might be times where you'll just need to check to see what I'm doing, but when you know, just close your eyes again, listen to your body. Holding the shoulders the other way. And we're going to be working through the whole body in our session today. Okay, and then just let the shoulders relax. Let's just bring the chin down to the chest, so the head is going to drop down, and you're just going to find a little roll of the head from side to side. And just stretching out into the neck. And find some softness in your practice. So those of you who tend to do more yang type sessions, flows, maybe you do other fitness classes, other exercises, it might be a little bit harsher on the body, more dynamic, stronger. Just find some softness in your practice today. Ease. Just bring your head back up through the center. You're just going to take a little twist. You're going to take one hand behind you, and if you're with your legs crossed, you can bring one arm across the body, across towards the knee, and twist around from here. And you'll find as we go into our poses today, as we're holding them longer, you don't need to go into your biggest stretch straight away. You'll be easing yourself into each pose slowly. As we hold the pose for longer, you'll be able to go a little bit deeper into the pose over time, if it feels right for you. Just come through the center and then take that twist the other way. So remember how you're feeling here at the start of the session. As we go throughout the session, notice subtle changes happening in your body, but also changes in your state. Okay, good. We'll come out. We're going to come onto the knees. So we do have a bit on our knees today. So bear that in mind. If you need some extra padding underneath your knees, you can always grab it. So our hands are just going to be onto the floor, and you're going to find your own little bit of movement here in this all four position. So you can find a nice little sway of the hips and the shoulders. That feels nice for you. You can go through a cat-cow. And another nice thing about this style of yoga is that, as I mentioned before, there's no set way to do any of these poses, and it's all just about exploring your body. This is your time to explore, see what different shapes your body can make, different movements you can do. I just want to give the head a little shake out or a nod. Okay, so we're going to come into our first hold, our first pose, which is just going to be a nice, basic, easy child's pose. Child's pose is where we're just going to be on our knees. We're going to take the knees a little wider apart. You're just going to ease yourself into it slowly. Your chest will start to lower down. And we're just going to find some softness here. So we don't need to have the arms out straight and stretch through the hands and fingers. You can relax through the elbows and the arms. And you're just going to fold forwards as far as you can. Now, if you have any knee issues, or you find it's too hard with the hips coming all the way back to your heels, you can always use a rolled up blanket or maybe a cushion just underneath your hips and just sit back onto that support there. You might find that helps you out. Okay, so we're just going to start off here, and we're going to be in this child's pose for 2 minutes. So I'll mind the time. You don't need to worry about the time. I will be letting you know when to come out of the pose. And always the start of each new pose, we just have a little bit of time to really settle into it, make some subtle adjustments if you need. But then eventually you want to find stillness. Allow yourself to relax into this child's pose. And as we stay here for a little longer, if you want to, you can bring your palms together and just bend your elbows so your hands come to the back of your head. So feel free to take that option if you want to. Just staying for another minute here. When you hear the bell, just take 3 more breaths in your child's pose. We never want to come out of the poses first. We just want to come out of them slowly. So those last 3 breaths will just give your body time to just relax a little bit more and prepare yourself to slowly come out. So your own time, you're going to gently lift your chest away from your thighs. You're going to bring your body up. Just take your time. And you can just bring your hands to come back in front of you there. Okay, feel free to have a little move around again if you want to. Usually when we come out of our longer holds, we find some stillness just so that we can listen and feel into the body and feel any changes in the body. But we're still just getting into our practice. So if you feel like you need to move around, you can. But I'm going to talk you through our next pose. So we're going to be staying on the knees and we're going to come into a toe stretch. So you're going to have your knees in a bit closer together and you're going to be tucking your toes under. And you want to make sure all of your little toes are tucked under. So even the weeny ones, tiny ones, make sure they're tucked under so you can help them out if you need. And then again, we're going to come to sit back onto the heels. So remember, you can always keep something underneath your bottom if you need. You can come to sit back even onto a block or cushion or blanket. And this one can be very strong. So if you find it gets too much, just bring your hips up, but still try to keep those toes tucked under. I'm going to stay here for 2 minutes in this toe stretch. And close your eyes. Just check to make sure you're not bringing any tension into your shoulders. Let your shoulders relax. Feel any sensations going on through the toes and into the feet. So this pose can actually be a little bit energizing as we're targeting the energy channels Let's start off in the soles of the feet. And then that can have a huge effect on the rest of the body as well. Especially when it's something quite strong like this, it can wake us up a little bit. So remember, if it gets too much, just bring your hips up. Or you can always bring your hands to the floor just to take a little bit of pressure off. Just keep holding. We've got less than a minute left. Just taking a couple of breaths. Just see if you can stay there that moment longer. This is one that we need to move really slowly out of. It's a strong one. So if your hands aren't already on the floor, you're just going to place the hands down and you're going to very slowly just peel the toes off the ground. Okay. With this, you might just need to give your feet a little tap out on the floor. You can even give your feet a little move around there, a little wiggle. And we're just going to take it back into our child's pose. So a little rebound here. Come back to that child's pose again. So the tops of the feet are to the floor. And notice the sensations going on through the feet. So these changes that you are making in your body just by doing some of these poses. And seeing what effect this has on your body. And you're just starting to become more in tune with yourself. More aware. Okay, so we're going to be coming into our next pose, which is dangling pose. So we are actually going to be on the feet for this one. And it is a forward fold. So you're going to just step up onto your feet, but just slowly. But keep your knees bent. So we're going to come into this forward fold. As your feet come to the floor, there might still be some sensations going on through the toes and the feet, so just be aware of that. And our dangling pose, you're going to allow the body to fall over the legs. You're going to have your elbows bent so that your hands come across the opposite elbows. You're going to dangle here. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, so you can bring your tummy and your chest onto your thighs. Or if you find it is too strong, just come up slightly. You can even have your hands onto your legs, but then still just relax through the head and the shoulders. The idea here is that the head is going down, the crown of the head is going down towards the floor. And you're just falling forwards over your legs. Okay, it's going to be another 2-minute hold starting from now. And you may even find you do just sway a little from side to side. You can just really let everything release here in this pose. Remember, if anything feels too much, you can always just come back down onto your knees and come out a bit sooner if you need. Just imagine Any tension from your day or your week is just falling out of your head and into the ground. And any negative thoughts or worries fall out of your mind into the floor. Feel your spine stretching, your legs stretching. You might even straighten out your legs a little bit more if that feels okay for you. Breathe in and out, just see if you can relax even more. And just notice how much further or deeper you can go into the pose after holding a bit longer. Okay, to come out of this one, we'll just be slowly coming back down onto the knees. So just take your time. You can keep the hands down in front, or you might just come to sit back onto your heels and bring the chest up. Or you can even come into a cross-legged position or seated position if that feels better into your knees. But just take a moment just to bring the head up here. Notice how that feels as you exit that pose. And we're not holding poses for so long today, we're just easing ourselves into everything. But when we do hold the poses a little bit longer than usual, and then we come out of them, we call it a rebound, and that's just where the muscles and the tissues go back to their normal place, their sort of more natural state. Okay. So our next one, we're going to be coming into a lunge position, dragon pose. So this can be quite a strong one to hold for a long time. Make sure your knees are going to be comfortable, so have some padding underneath the knees. You're going to have your right foot in front and your hands are just going to come either side of your foot. Now, if you have a block, you might just want to have it nearby for in a moment. Don't worry if you don't have a block, it's okay. So as we come into this lunge position, just have a little move around to see how the hips are feeling. And remember, you don't want to go into your maximum stretch straight away. We are going to be here for 3 minutes, but we're going to mix it up for each minute. So remember, don't push yourself too far as you come into this. Ease yourself into it slowly. The body will have a bit of time to relax even more. We're just starting off here. You can let the shoulders relax. You can have your palms to the floor, or if you find it better in your wrists, you can always have a fist with the hands. Relax the neck. Already start to feel the body easing into this just a little bit more. And see how this feels. You might just be happy here. You can stay as you are. Or if you want to, you're going to bring your hands up onto your front thigh. You're going to bring the chest up. Coming into our high dragon. Too much, just bring our hands back down to the ground. Here, most of us will be feeling it there into the left hip into the hip flexor. You might be feeling it a bit into the back of that right leg. And this can be strong, as our hips do tend to be fairly tight, especially if you have your hips more in a flexed position from sitting in the day. Okay, we're moving into our third and final minute. Now we'll come back down with the hands if you came up there, and just move your right foot further out to the right side so that your hands are coming to the inside of your right foot. And this might be where you decide to have a block. You can bring your hands onto your block. That would just help you out a little bit. Quite a few different options here that I'm going to give you. You can bring your elbows down onto the floor or onto your block, just to go a little bit deeper into it for this final minute. See how that feels. Remember, these are all options, you decide. And then one more option here, if you want to take it, you might bring your right hand onto your right thigh and just gently press the right knee out to the side. So you're getting a little bit of a twist here as well. So remember those options before. If you need to ease off, and just stay through the center, stay on the hands, stay there. Good. And breathe. Relax. And then you'll come out of this very slowly wherever you are. Just take your time. So we want to exit really slowly from these poses, like you're moving in slow motion. We're in no rush. We're taking our time. As you come out, a couple of options. You can come back into a child's pose on your knees and bring the hips to the heels. Or if you want to, you can come up into a downward dog in between sides. So this is a little bit more yang energy to come into a downward dog. It's up to you. Might feel nice in between sides, just to stretch out the legs. Just take a few breaths. Feel what's happening in your hips and your legs after that. How does that feel? Okay. So, of course, we're going to repeat that on the left side. So, just in your own time, remember, move slowly, take your time. We're going to come into our dragon pose with the left foot forwards, or whatever side you haven't done yet. Ease yourself into it slowly. Okay, and just finding this lunge. So we can take our time to come into each pose, so we can really feel what's happening in the body. If anything doesn't feel right, then we can ease off. And then maybe you might be able to go a little bit further into the pose as you hold longer. First minute here. Listening to your body. Starting to go deeper into your practice. coming out of your mind, coming into your body. You can stay there as you are. Or if you want to come up into this high dragon, bringing the hands onto the thigh, lifting the chest, you can. Do a little scan of your body and notice if you're holding on to any tension in the neck or shoulders. You may find yourself coming out of your comfort zone every now and again. Remember, if anything's painful, ease off. You will feel some slight discomfort as you hold for longer. Okay, if you came up, come down. For our final minute, we're going to move the left foot just a little further out to the sides. The hands come to the inside of the foot. Stay up high or use your block if you have one, or you can even use cushions. That's an option as well. You can come down onto your elbows, or maybe one elbow. You might add in that little twist, just pressing that left knee out to the side slightly. You might even roll onto the outside edge of the foot. So try to relax through the rest of the body as much as you can. Staying there. Just notice how much further you are able to go into the pose. Then give yourself time to come out of this pose. Slowly moving yourself out. Enough body time. You can come back to your child's pose one final time, or maybe that downward dog again. We're going to be coming onto our front for our next pose. This one is one of my favorites. It's our Sphinx pose. So this is going to be a nice little back extension. And the reason why I love it so much is I find throughout the day, I tend to be in more of a forward position, shoulders forwards, hips flexed. And then doing this Sphinx pose just eases everything out into the opposite direction. Some people might find this quite challenging in our back extension. So remember, if it gets too strong, just come out. You can relax. So that's another nice thing about the yin yoga. You can do as much or as little as you like. You might just spend most of the time just relaxing on the floor, and that's okay. It's fine. But our Sphinx pose is where we're going to have the elbows underneath the shoulders, roughly. Or you might have your elbows a bit further forwards in front. That will be a bit easier for you. So the chest is going to be lifted. Your legs are going to be heavy to the floor. Pelvis is going to be heavy to the floor. And shoulders going to relax. Now, as we hold this pose for longer, you may find that the head starts to get heavy. So that's okay. You can always let your neck relax. You can have a play around. You might take your feet, your legs a bit wider apart. If you find that feels a bit easier into your back, that's okay. You can stay for 3 minutes in our Sphinx pose. I'll just give you a moment just to get settled. Close your eyes. Really allow your pelvis to sink into the floor. And another thing with these poses, it's all about just finding your edge. So we don't want to find something really strong and hard to hold. So sort of on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe around about a 6 or a 7. And each pose is different for everyone. We all have our favorite poses. We all have different bodies. Our bodies can do different things. So just making it your own. So staying here as you are, or you can come up into seal pose. This will be a little bit stronger. You're going to be pushing your hands to the floor and your elbows are going to lift up off the ground. You're going to be lifting up a little bit higher in your seal pose. If it's too much, just stay down on your elbows. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Relax your facial muscles. And breathe. Staying there. 1 more minute. Wherever you are, you're just going to bring your chest down towards the floor. And you're going to let your body relax all the way to the ground. So you can make a little pillow for your forehead with your hands, and rest your head to your hands. Or just let your arms come by your sides. You might turn your head to one side. So just letting all the muscles in your back relax. Around the spine. Notice any sensations going on in the back. Easily as you can. We're going to be coming straight round onto our backs. We're going to be staying on our back, so you can just roll yourself straight around there. And as you come to your back, you might find it nice to draw the knees up to the chest, just as a little counter stretch after that back bend. So our final pose that we're going to be doing is going to be a twist. And we'll be doing right side and then left side. So you're going to have the right knee to the chest, and your left leg is going to relax out long in line with the body. Just plug the right knee in for a moment there. Feel your back relaxing onto the floor. Then your right knee is going to come across the body. So you're going to use your left hand to just gently draw the knee across. Let your right arm come out to the side, or you might have the arm up a little bit higher. But try to keep the right shoulder blade onto the floor. So think of that right shoulder anchoring you down as you come into this twist. You might have a block or a cushion or something that you can place underneath your right knee if you want to there. You can just keep the hand onto the knee as you relax into this twist. Remember, no effort is needed. You're just going to really relax. Got this change of position. Feel the back of your body supported by the floor beneath you. And just letting everything unravel and unwind. Just while you rest here, be grateful for this time that you've carved out for yourself today. It's time to get to know yourself a little bit better, and to see where you are at in this present moment. You're going to come out between sides, just let your legs and arms relax for a moment. Feel the difference from one side of the body to the other. It's so nice to find this ease and softness. We so often put so much pressure on ourselves. And also there's so much going on in our world. There's so much information to take on, so much to see, so much to do. And sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. Just doing a nice, simple, easy practice like this. You don't have to do much. Just helps take the pressure off. So you can find that ease and comfort again. Taking that twist to the other side when you're ready. You can hug the left knee in. Just pause for a moment as the knee comes into the chest. And you can take your twist when you're ready. You can just make it your own. Use props if you like. Stretch the left arm out to the side or over your head. Sometimes we can overcomplicate things. But just keeping everything nice and simple in our practice. Giving your brain and your mind a rest. And the reason behind this practice today is this uplifting practice is to maybe find some happiness and joy as well. They say there's 3 parts to happiness. You might believe or think different things, but the 3 main things are satisfaction, joy, and purpose. So satisfaction is feeling like you are living the life you want to live. Feeling content. Joy. Just thinking, how many times do you laugh or smile each day or week? How often do you smile? How often do you laugh? Purpose. What is it that you want to be doing? What is your purpose? Satisfaction, joy, purpose. 3 things to think about in your life right now, and finding that balance of emotions, positive and negative. First step of all of that is all about being aware. Awareness is so important. Minds are usually distracted so much. Just being more aware of your life right now. So just slowly coming out of that twist if you haven't done so already. So allow the arms and legs to relax for a moment. You're more aware of your body now. The body should hopefully be feeling more rested, more relaxed, more at ease. And the body is comfortable and at ease. And we're able to find more satisfaction, joy in our lives. So just going to ease ourselves into our final part of our practice, which is Shavasana, our final pose, our relaxation. So get yourself nice and cozy and warm. Find a comfortable position. Use cushions, blankets, anything you like. And when we come out of this, when we end our relaxation, if you feel like you just want to stay there for longer, then please do. You're more than welcome to stay as you are. Just finding the way into your relaxation. I'm just going to read out a little poem from this The Language of Yin book by Gabrielle Harris. So just take a couple of breaths to arrive here. Relax. Abundance within. Abundance in Yin is the recognition that we already have enough. To cultivate the feeling of abundance in our life, we remember that we are enough as we are. We have enough material possessions. Our relationships are enough. Our job is enough. We have done enough. We are good enough, beautiful enough. We know enough. And we are precisely where we are meant to be. So relax here. Put down the internal pressure you place on yourself. Put down the need to improve what is already beautiful. Slow breath in. Sigh your breath away. Tune into your whole body. Just where you are right now. Here in this present moment. Right where you're meant to be. Enjoy this feeling. It's calm, easy feeling. See if you can keep hold of this feeling for as long as you can. There might be something from your practice that you might want to take with you after practice. Just something small. If you want to stay relaxed as you are, then please do. Just like we've been doing throughout the whole session, taking things slowly. You can very gently move the body again. And you don't want to rush. Allow yourself to take your time to move slowly with awareness. When you are ready to come up, just meet in a seated position. Try to keep your eyes closed if you can. Going to have the hands together in front of the heart center. And I just want you to repeat to yourself 3 times in your mind this affirmation, really believing these words. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. Just allow yourself to take the pressure off every now and again. You can always repeat those words to yourself whenever you need to. Okay, we'll rub our hands together while keeping the eyes closed. Keep rubbing your hands so you feel some warmth and energy between your hands. And then you're going to bring your hands up towards your face. You're going to turn your palms to face you. Be aware of any tingling through the hands. Feel that good energy coming onto yourself. Take a breath in. Breathe in that good energy. Breathe out. And just slowly flutter your eyelids open as you move your hands away. Just flickering your eyes open. Bring yourself back into your space. Just close our session with Namaste. Very good, everyone. Do take your time. If you are relaxing there for longer, then that's absolutely fine. Hopefully you can relax even more into your evening. But I just want to say a huge, huge thank you for joining me for our session today. And I hope you got something from it, especially if this was a new sort of practice for you. It can be a little bit challenging to begin with as well, sometimes holding poses for a long time. And I did put in some harder ones actually for us today. If you do find are new to yin yoga, the toe stretch and the dragon pose is quite a challenging one to start off with. And also the other reason behind doing this class as well was to raise some more money for Ukraine. As most of you are aware, I've put the information in the email. So if you would like to donate, then that would be brilliant. There's a link that I've put up, but I know there's a few other places that you can donate as well, but just sort of, we're all aware of it anyway, of what's going on. And yeah, we just want to do our little bit if we can. But thank you so much for joining me. It's so lovely seeing you all as well. And it's great to get back to the yin yoga. I've missed it. So I'm just going to stop recording.